What is up, you beautiful people? It is Thursday night. It is the late night agenda. And as always, it is a damn pleasure to be here with you good folks on a Thursday evening. Sure, what else would we be doing? I hope you're all well. I hope you're all happy. You know, we got through last night. We've got the draw for the quarterfinals. We now know a day for that. Thank you, Mark, for putting that into the chat, by the way. And we've a lot of talk to go through tonight. We'll be discussing a potential heir to Joel Matip at Liverpool. We'll be talking a little bit about Andre Trinidad and the latest on that situation. We'll also be having a look at Joel Musiala and how interesting it is at Bayern Munich right now. I mean, there's people, I think, looking to get out of Bayern Munich because it doesn't seem to be running as the wet old machine that it usually does. Obviously, they were knocked out of the DFB Pokal last night as well by a third division side, Saarbrücken. So, not happy campers over there. So, yes, lots to get through. We all good? It's a pleasure to be with you, as I said, and thank you for joining me on this Thursday evening. Sorry, I'm checking my notes. So, how are we? I love this part of the show, by the way, because this is where I get to just say all the hellos to people as we wait for the chat to fill up. So, Rachel is in. How are we, Rachel? Bradley Van Vuren is in. How are you, my friend? Ian Greenstreet, always a pleasure. Davino, Colin, Paul Welch, Doreen. Who else have we got in? Mark, of course, our chief moderator. Lehris, Kyle, how are you, my friend? Liam Heen, Avani, George Edwards, Divine Campbell, nice to see you. Boying Zebadi, welcome in, dude. Kayla, how are you? Joe McPherson, Caden Walsh, Connor Finnegan. Hello. We good? I can't lie, lads. I'm walking around like the cock of the walk at the minute, like the cat that got the cream. Liverpool are in a pretty good position, and life as a Liverpool fan right now is not too shabby. How's it going, Craig? Mate, I'm good, Darwizzy. I'm good. Great performance from yourself last night, by the way, Darwizzy. Well in, great goal. So, I finally got to watch the game back with the audio, because as you know, when I'm doing a watch-along, I have it on silent. And I did know that when Darwin miscontrolled the ball initially, there was a few jeers from the Bournemouth fans, which was quickly ran back down their throats as Darwin collected that ball, drifted inside onto his right foot, and unleashed an absolute missile into the roof of the net. So very quickly they were quieting down. Colin, how are we? Said, hey, you absolute sight to the eyes. I mean, that's the first time I've been called that. Got a football match in a couple of hours, then heading home for the weekend for some peace. Love you as always. You play a lot of games, dude. A lot of games. Make sure you don't overwork yourself. Can you pronounce Andre Trinidad properly, please? So, I mean, Brett, my friend, with all due respect, I don't know the correct pronunciation. If you would like me to pronounce it in a particular way, please feel free to phonetically spell it out for me, dude. I don't know how to pronounce his name other than Andre. I don't usually use the surname part, to be honest with you, bud. But I'm always open to learning. But rather than just being... And look, I'm not going to lie, mate. It comes across as a bit cunty, the way you phrased it. How about you say, Craig, you're not pronouncing his name correctly, my man. Here's the way it's pronounced. Rather than, can you pronounce the name correctly, please? It's a bit snotty. Would you agree? Who's this guy from Real Sociedad? Bear with me, Reza. Bear with me. All good things, my friend. All good things. How's the weather? Do you know what? It's cold, but no wind here, no rain, not too bad at all. So, yeah, from that perspective, better than what I'm seeing in the UK anyway. I mean, those conditions for the boys last night at Bournemouth were horrendous, weren't they? They even had to cancel their flight back and jump on the old bus. Have I watched Andre? I won't say I've watched him from a perspective that I would have watched Liverpool's players, but yes, I've watched... I think I've probably watched a couple of hours all in of Andre, and I'll definitely be tuning in to the Copa Libertadores on Saturday at 8 o'clock, I think it starts our time. I do, yeah. I really like him. Really, I like... Sometimes you just look at a player and you feel like there's that bit of vibrancy or a bit of a spark in him. And he's somebody that I think we're going to enjoy if he becomes a Liverpool player. Have you got a Discord? We do, buddy, we do, but it's only for Anfield Agenda Ultra members. We used to have it open for everybody. This is our second Discord. We had a previous one, it was open to everybody. And when you do that, unfortunately, you get a lot of assholes coming in to cause trouble, post racist shit. So we closed down the other one and we're rebuilding the new one back up bit by bit. So we will open it up to more people as we go on, but we just want to make sure, like the chat in here, that we can make sure we can moderate it as best as we can, because we don't want people having to deal with all that scummy stuff that sometimes gets flooded into chats. Honestly, who cares? We know who you mean, Craig. Why they're not bothered about it? No. Look, to be fair, I could totally understand anybody wanting a name to be pronounced correctly, but you know, I need the information at hand to help pronounce it. So yeah, no problem with that. Like, I've practiced some of the names, like Sobelfly. I practiced that for a while. In your opinion, who's the best Liverpool player right now? Oh, Sean, that's a tasty little question to kick us off tonight. Who's the best Liverpool player right now? Toss up between Dom, Salah, Darwin and Alisson. It depends what you like, really. Ali's always brilliant. Gravenberch has come in, hit the ground running. Szoboszlai's been just solid 7s and 8s. Mo, again, very consistent. But I'm probably going to say Darwin, because he's in a really good moment at the minute, scoring some good goals and looks full of confidence. So I'm probably going to go with Darwin. Right, so let's get stuck into the news, right? So let's talk about the centre-back first, because I know a lot of you guys have been very patient asking about this. So an article caught my eye earlier on today, and basically the gist of the article was that Liverpool are looking at a very kind of feisty, aggressive defender as a potential heir and successor to Joel Matip. Now, before we move on to speak about the person in question, so, two things. Firstly, I have to admit, I'm absolutely fine if we bring in somebody if Matip leaves, and I'm absolutely fine to extend Joel by a season or two, because whoever we're bringing in, I don't think they're going to be the long-term successor to a starting berth. So we've got Jarrell Kwanzaa, who looks like a VVD regen and looks like he could absolutely be VVD's successor if his development continues to go to plan. Then we've got Ibu, who looks like another leader on the right-hand side of the centre-back position. So when I initially seen that the linking to this defender, my first thought was their age profile is probably not right, but then I've backtracked. So look, let me go through it and we'll talk about it. So they say that Liverpool have been linked with a Real Sociedad centre-back, Robin Le Normand. Team Talk are the ones who are making this claim. Say Liverpool have been linked. Manchester United also interested in him. He's got a €50 million release clause in a Sociedad contract. I think that was confirmed previously by Fabrizio Romano. So that'll be about £44 million. And the reason I say about his age is he's 26 years of age. And my initial instinct when I read that and seen that he was 26 years of age was to say too old. But then I thought about it and I thought, well, what are we bringing him in for? We're bringing him in to replace experience. We're bringing him in to be that level-headed potential senior centre-back. So I thought about when we brought in Virgil van Dijk. And if I'm not mistaken, Van Dijk was about 25, 26 when Liverpool signed him. So I'm okay with it. I don't know enough about the player. I'm not going to sit here and profess that I've watched many minutes of Robin Le Normand. I haven't, but I know you guys have. And that's why I wanted to bring it up tonight, because I know a lot of you guys have got some good, strong views on Real Sociedad, having watched Kubo and a few others there. So let's get a poll, as is suggested in the chat. So let's just ask quite simply, would you take Le Normand for, what is it in pounds? It's about £44 million, isn't it? So, would you take Le Normand for £44 million, yay or nay? First poll of the night, and it's up in the chat there now. Expensive for a backup. Yeah. Yeah. But is he a backup? See, that's the question I'm struggling with myself, Blair. Like, he'd probably be the third defender, if we're being honest. Maybe fourth? So, I get where you're coming from. Like, we've got Jarrell Kwanzaa young. We've got Kanade young. And then you've got two senior centre-backs in Matip and Van Dijk. And you've got Joe Gomez, of course, who's right in that 26-year-old bracket as well. So, it wouldn't be over the hill, but I do understand where you're coming from. If you look at Liverpool's history of buying players, when they spend money, they usually spend it on players who are going to have a sell on. But then Verge didn't, and he was the answer. Go for the Sporting lad instead. He said 160 games. Yeah, see, it's the second part, like you've said there, Boeing Gazabadi. I don't understand, like, if we went back in for him, it'd do my head in because, as you pointed out, we paid 20 million more from them than we would have last summer. So, if we wanted Inacio, I really feel like we should have made that move when he was available for 40 million quid. How many tattoos do I have? Don't know. They're all linked together, Rachel, so I don't know how many will be in total. That wasn't Rachel, that was Layla. Sorry, Layla. Rachel, thank you for gifting 5 Anfield Agenda memberships, my friend. They have gone to the Heart of Football. Only fitting that the Heart of Football gets a membership. Blair's video channel. Connor Finnegan. George Edward. No, George is already a member, sorry. Shepang Gwangwa. Excuse me if I mispronounce, I'm sure I did. And Craig's Apple Crumble. All gifted memberships from Rachel. Thank you very much. Where are your tattoos? I've got one on both my legs, so one on both calf muscle, and then the rest are on my arms. That's it. I've none on my body, none on my back, none on my neck, none anywhere like that. Just arms and legs, really. I seriously would rather Kwanzaa than Colwill. Thoughts, Craig? My honest answer to that is, if you asked me that 3 months ago, I would have said, get away. Stop wasting my time. You're foolish. But, as much as I do like Levi Colwill, and I do, I mean, I don't know how anybody, myself included, could be anything other than extremely won over by how quickly Jarrell Kwanzaa has not just forced himself into the first team reckoning, but looks like he belongs, looks like he's been there all his life, looks like this step up was easy to him, and I'm sure it wasn't. So, look, right now, knowing that we would have somebody that has came through our academy and we don't have to go out there and drop a load of money on, there's something beautiful about that. So if Jarrell Kwanzaa comes through and is a mainstay in our defence for the next 7, 8, 9 years, and we haven't really had to shell out like we would have had to for Colwill, I mean, I'm not hating that. Not hating that at all. A Santino, thank you, my friend. You're very kind indeed. Gifted 5 Anfield Agenda memberships. They've gone to Tom Goldsworthy, to Leon Challender, to Edam Name, to S Mac, and to Wu Tang Fan. Now, of course, Wu Tang Fan has to get one. He knows what's up. My wife has a Wu Tang hoodie that she wears quite a bit as well. So very happy to see Wu Tang represented in the Anfield Agenda chat. George Edwards said, "Hey Craig, if you had to pick a United player to be in our squad, who would it be and why?" Who would it be and why? Who would it be and why? Who would it be and why? Why? Who would it be and why? The answer's probably Bruno, but I couldn't. I know I'd appreciate his football, but I know I'd also really get wound up by him. See, this is going to sound really shitty, right? But I don't really know. Like, maybe Garnacho, maybe. But, like, we have our own young prospect on that side. We don't need Rashford, so no to him. Shaw as backup at left back, but, like, his injury record makes that difficult. Sometimes I think Dalot's decent, but nobody. And I'm not trying to be demeaning of Manchester United there. Like, I'm not trying to just be a shithouse. I don't want any of them. They're all crap. Man, they just are, though. So Brian is in the Jesus. How are we, Mister? I was just actually going to bring Brian up in a moment. Brian is gifted 20 Anfield Agenda memberships as well. Thank you so much. I have a call with Brian scheduled for 10 o'clock our time, because Brian had a call today with the venue that we were looking at in Boston. So, you know, if we pull the trigger, are you going to show up, Bostonians? Should we do it? I'm going to get a poll on it, because I want real, genuine answers. But we're looking at it for March, and the numbers that were sent to me today from Brian look doable. So we asked you guys in a poll, would you take Le Normand for £44 million? 64% so far have said yes, with 36% saying no. I'm not going to read through all the 20 gifted memberships and who they went to with Brian, because, well, we'd be here for a while because he's so generous. I'd bring in Maguire, said Scratch. We need a new doorstop for the trophy room. Any updates on Luis Diaz's father? Yes, a pretty big one today. I'm going to read this out exactly as it was sent, because, again, I don't want to put any misinformation around. But this, this I've seen confirmed. So ELN, who are, I think, an armed insurgency group or something in Colombia, they are the ones who have kidnapped Lucho's father. Now, apparently the senior figures in this organization, for want of a better word, didn't realize that they were the ones that had kidnapped Luis Diaz's father. So whether it was somebody going rogue or I don't know, but they've promised to release him in the coming hours. So, you know, we're not going to start celebrating that until the man's home and safe, but it certainly does look like we're going to a very promising ending, hopefully. You know, we want the man back with his father, we want Lucho's family to be back whole, and we hope that this is true and that in the coming hours he is back with his family. So that's where we're at the minute on that one. Boston, we will be there, says Mohamedou. And look, I'm going to run a poll on that in a while to ask you guys if we should do it or not. Honestly, I don't know who Le Normand is, but you're not on your own. You know me, I like to be honest. I have not heard nor seen much about this dude, but what I read up on him today, he's a very aggressive, and I mean that in a positive way, type of centre-back. So I'm sure we have a lot of people in our chat who know more about him than yourself and I do, and that's why I love these shows, because I get educated as well. United in the Mud said, Fabrizio Romano is saying Liverpool has kept a close eye on the Brazilian right winger Luis Guilherme. He has a €50 million release clause. So I think I know the guy you're on about. I think I have him in my notes here. Where? Uno momento. Yeah, so it's this guy. Yeah. So I seen that tweet from Fabrizio. It said, official confirmed, Luis Guilherme signs new long-term deal until 2026, has a €55 million release clause in his contract. Bayern, Liverpool, Chelsea and more European top clubs have been following Luis for a long time, and he is I think Palmeiras, looking by the kit there, I think he's a Palmeiras player. So yeah, seems to be lots of links at the moment with Liverpool and players coming from Brazil or from South America. Craig, Le Normand or Hincapié? Honestly, I'm not going to lie, my friend, Asentino, I don't know who's better. That's hand on heart, but I don't know which one of those would be a better fit. So that's why I'm looking for some help tonight from you guys on that one. Who do you think would be a better fit? I think... Do you know what? Let's get another poll. We love a poll here on Anfield Agenda. So let's get another one where we'll put in the centre-back option. So, let's go. Who do you want? Who do you want LFC to sign? Right, so I'm going to put 4 options in. I'm not saying that all of these are doable. I'm not saying they're likely. But they're ones that you guys have been mentioning. Right, 1 second. I need to add some more options. Who was the other one we were saying there? Oh, yeah. And one more. Right, so there we go. So we've asked you guys for which one of these centre-backs would you like Liverpool to sign? Bastoni, Lenormand, Inacio or Hincapié? Now, I don't know if Bastoni is even achievable, but it was mentioned by a few people in the chat, so I said for a fourth option, let's throw it in. Matip leaving, said no. His contract is up at the end of this season. There have been reports going both ways on this, mate. Some reports have said that Liverpool are talking to Joel Matip about increasing his stay at Liverpool by a year or two. Some reports have suggested Liverpool are looking to refresh and move on from Joel Matip. I don't know which one of those is correct, but I know I'm comfortable with either one. That's how highly I guess I rate Joel. You know, if Joel is happy to be fourth choice centre-back, say, and play occasionally, I think he has a year or two left in him, no problem. Joel never lets us down when he plays. But if Liverpool would like to have this clean break, continue with the refreshing of the squad's age and profile, again, I understand that as well. Real Madrid have joined for Inacio. Again, whether it's Real Madrid or us, Darwizi, I still don't understand why, if anybody wanted Gonzalo Inacio, well, they didn't just pay the money last year. Because whoever it is now, you're going to have to pay 60 million euro against what would have been 40 million euro. So it really just feels like it's strange that anybody wants to sign the kid when they could have had him for like 20. We throw numbers around at times, right? Like it's nothing. But 20 million euro, like that is some differential. That's a 50% increase on what he could have been gotten for just last summer. So it would just be bad business for anybody to do it a year later. Would you sell Matip? Well, we can't sell him because he's out of contract. So Matip, if he so wanted, in January could sign a pre-contract agreement with any club outside of England. And Liverpool, of course, couldn't do anything about it because his contract is up. At the end of this season, Thiago Alcantara and Joel Matip are out of contract at the club. And I think Adrian, off the top of my head. Craig, if you go to a match in the Americas, which game might it be? So the dream is the Super Classico, Boca River Plate. That's the dream. If I go to America, I'm probably far more likely to want to go to an NFL game. So let's have a look at the poll for the moment. So we said, who do you want Liverpool to sign? 4 options: Bastoni, Lenormand, Inacio and Hincapié. And so far, Liverpool fans, or you guys in the chat, are leaning towards Pierre Hincapié. Or is it Piero? It's Piero, isn't it? Nevelin, how are you, mate? Thank you. I told you about Normand. Of course, he'll accept a rotational role. So, foot edits. I need your help. And can we drop the all caps, bud? You know, our mods don't like all caps. Give me some info on this dude. What's his profile? What type of defender is he? Because I'm being open here, bud. I'm sailing blind on this one. Andre not fully owned by his club, 20% is owned by another. So obviously, Steve, if Liverpool or any Premier League club wanted to bring in Andre Trinidad, and again to that gentleman that told me about the pronunciation, my apologies, they'd have to sort that out because we know third-party ownership is not allowed. I think it's not allowed in Europe anymore, but certainly not allowed in the Premier League. So that would have to be bought out. So Liverpool would have to buy out all of it. You know, Liverpool would have to own all of that registration. Why not Antonio Silva? I mean, Ellis, it is a weird one because if you asked me a year ago to discuss the big up-and-coming young centre-backs in Europe, Antonio Silva of Benfica would have been right at the top of that list. But I'm just being honest and saying I haven't really seen many links to anybody going to bring him in. I mean, there was some tenuous links to Manchester City at one point. But like yourself, bit surprised, mate. because that's a name that he's awesome as a centre back, and I'm surprised that we're not seeing more links to him. Hincapié is very aggressive, but he will get red cards easily. I think he'd have to taper it down a bit, to be fair. And he's working with a good coach in Javi Alonso at the minute as well. Hincapié is pronounced Incapay, like foot in Spanish. Incapay. Okay, cool. Thank you for that, Alex. Incapay. Craig, obligatory boxing question. Joe Cordina fighting this weekend. Can we rely on your support? I'm always there for supporting a Welsh boxer, my friend. I love my Celtic cousins, so absolutely you can get my support on that, and I'll be watching it as well. Branthwaite said Layla and Sophia would love Jarrod Branthwaite, but when he signed that new contract with Everton, I feel like that probably put the kibosh on Liverpool being able to make that happen. Top Soba is brilliant, said the Red Baron. Look, again, I'm going to be honest, I don't know much about Top Soba, but I've seen lots of positive commentary from people around him. Incapie? Is it Incapia or Incapie? Le Normand is quick, strong and aggressive. So again, he's another one of those centre-backs that I think was born in France, but like Laporte, changed allegiance to play for Spain. Or I don't know if he even changed allegiance, but I think he was born in France, if I'm not mistaken, from my quick little research earlier on. What have we got? I wouldn't be surprised if Manchester City have paid this group. Dude, I'm not reading that. I can't read that, mate. I mean, I'm very appreciative of your super chat, but I can't lean into that type of comment, bud. Craig, I love the podcast. No one does it better. Tell you, mate, you help so many people with mental health problems like me. Biggie, thank you, man. Appreciate that. Oh, if only this little pest over in Manchester would stop annoying us and allow us to get to work. I mean, I still can't fill you in on exactly what it is that the little specimen has been trying to do, but again, when time is right, we'll be able to fill you in on everything. But right now, I'm having to bite my tongue. But yeah. It was a super chat, but you can't see it now. Yes, because Colin deleted it, mate, because it wasn't a topic I wanted to read out. You know, it was about Lucho's father. You know, it was weird and wrong. Do I mean Mark Goldbridge? 100%. That's what I mean. 100%. I'm gonna say this again. If you want to resolve and have a chat, come to me directly. If you don't have the bottle to do that, stop with the other nonsense, because it's not going to end well. So either come and have a conversation like a grown up, or continue to hide behind what you're doing and wasting your own time and wasting all of our time. But ultimately, we will bring this to a conclusion. We will bring this to a satisfactory conclusion. And like I've said many times, be an adult, be a leader, be a man. Step up. Stop hiding. Deal with it. And stop hiding behind you know what. I can't speak about it at the moment out of respect for the people involved. But I can't say this highly enough. For somebody who mocked me, and he mocked me and said, I am not mentally strong enough to be in our industry, on his stream when I left That's Football, turned around and said, if you can't stand the heat, get out of the kitchen. Maybe he's not mentally strong enough for this industry. I'm not the one throwing around accusations. I'm not the one acting like a child. I'm the one that's here, fronting up, doing my work, proving how mentally tough I am. And maybe you need to look inwardly for the reasons, the answers to the questions that you're asking us all. Because sometimes a bit of self-reflection is what's needed in these things. But I can only say this so many times. I mean this sincerely. You will not intimidate me or get the better of me in any way. Because one, you're not capable of it. And two, you're irrelevant to me, my man. I know I seemingly live in your head rent-free, and I get it. I get it. I know it's not nice to lose. I get it. But sometimes in life you got to lick your wounds and just toddle off. But we will not be intimidated by you or anybody. So if you want to deal with it like an adult. Treat people like peers. Speak to us. Reach out. Or go away. But this is going to be brought to a conclusion. And how that concludes, I guess that's up to you. Coming here every night is like returning to the mothership, a big, lovely red mothership. Thank you. Don't worry, Craig. Market's owned by pundits. Look, trust me. If this was just me, I'd tell you everything. If this was just me, if this was just me, trust me, the cat would be out of the bag on a lot of stuff. But I'm being respectful to the people involved because I care about them and I have a duty of care to them. But make no mistake, don't take this as any sign or indication of weakness, because I have everything I need to make my points, shall we say. And whatever it is you think I know, I know. And whatever it is you think I don't know, I know. So again, I know. Has the channel been accused of tapping up other content creators? He's trying to go down some sort of bizarre legal route. I can't say, mate. I cannot say. Again, out of respect for the people involved in it. But all will become clear in due process and time. He yeah, as I keep saying, I have to be so careful what I say, but I'm just going to keep saying it. I'm not going to be intimidated, not by him, not by anybody, especially not by him, because he's incapable of intimidating me. But again, oh, this is so hard. Because you know me, I'm not backwards and coming forwards, but at this moment in time, I've got to make sure that those people that are in the firing line are protected, and that's my first priority, and I will do that because they're my team and I look out for them. Nkapie's pace and aggression with Kwanzaa's class. Can we talk about Jarrell Kwanzaa for a minute, actually? Because I'm astounded. I am astounded by the progress of Jarrell Kwanzaa so quickly. Like, last night, you're not going to get many more difficult environments to go and play a game of football in. And I don't mean the hostile nature of Bournemouth fans or anything like that. I mean, the conditions were horrendous. In the second half, Bournemouth were playing with the wind and we had to defend so deep, and the corners, as Jurgen said, their set pieces were really good in that second half yesterday, Bournemouth. They really utilised the wind and they were really testing up that defence, and they didn't miss a beat. Kwanzaa was, if you would have told me he was 28 and he's a seasoned pro and he's been doing this for 7 or 8 years, I wouldn't have been surprised. He was so good. So good. It's really exciting, isn't it, to see what the future could be for Mr. Kwanzaa. Craig, what's your thoughts on it? And don't go anywhere, by the way. I have loads more news to get through. So if you permit me, we're going to go a little bit later tonight. We're going to go for over the hour. So sit down, relax, put the kettle on. We've got a lot of news to get through tonight. What's your thoughts on Endo so far this season, said John Williams. I don't know, John, that I would feel comfortable to say that I've made a decision on how I feel about Endo either way. I think the fairest answer I can give you is I haven't been let down by him. I haven't felt like he's cost us anything with regards to fixtures or performances, but what leaves me a little bit concerned is that I also don't see a commitment from Jurgen yet towards Endo that he feels like he's solved the number six position, because we see week in and week out now Alexis, when we come to the big Premier League games, Alexis McAllister is playing in the six. So the reason I'm hanging off on saying that I don't think Endo was going to be the long-term solution is because I'm also old enough to remember other players that Jurgen has taken his time to bring in. Like, we talk about Andy Robertson now, but if you remember back to when Andy Robertson signed, it was probably, I did 4 to 6 months before Andy Robertson really started to be established in the Liverpool team. And Robbo never missed a beat when he came in then. He made the position his own. I don't know yet, John, if I'm at that point where that's what Klopp's doing with Endo. Because if you hold that up over here and you juxtapose that with us going in for Andre in the January window and being so strongly linked with him, you can't really say that he thinks he's found the solution in Endo. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with it. But I'm also really cool about us bringing in both, because the money we got in for Fabinho will, if we pay, let's say, 30 or 40 million for Andre, I mean, we're not that much out with the money we'll have invested back into number sixes between Watoro and Andre. Whose birthday is it? Somebody, Sean, one of the Sean's in our... Oh, it's your birthday, Sean Collins. Happy birthday, my man. Lots of love to you. I won't ask how old you are. That's on yourself. But I hope you had a wonderful day, buddy. And yeah, big hug from all of us. Jared and Rob Gaming said, when's the contract from Liverpool coming in for me? We don't want to announce this publicly yet, Jay, because we're waiting for Jurgen to, finish up. But yeah, I will be the next Liverpool manager, mate. Myself, Pep Linders, and I might bring in Xavi Alonso in the backroom team. I haven't quite decided yet. God, I'd never thought Liverpool would be at risk of relegation, but dude, if I was in charge there, we'd be up shit creek. Right, more news to get through, because there's a lot tonight I haven't even started talking about yet. So we've got 2 people nominated for awards. Jurgen Norbert Klopp has been nominated for October's Premier League Manager of the Month, and the good news for Liverpool doesn't stop there, because also Mohamed Salah has been nominated for the Player of the Month award in October. So best of luck to both gentlemen in their respective award nominations. I mean, Mo's going to need a bigger trophy room, right? He's going to need a bigger trophy room for all of these awards. As Mark pointed out earlier on as well, we have a confirmation of, and I've lost it now, Mark. Maybe you could send this to me on WhatsApp. We have a confirmation on the West Ham date for the quarterfinal of the League Cup. It's going to be an 8 p.m. game. It's going to be shown on Sky Sports. I know it was December, but Mark, I'm sure, will fill me in on the exact date of that, because I've lost it at the moment. Right. Hey Craig, a little bit fatigued from work, just popped in to say hi. Thank you, Mike, appreciate you, man. 20th of December, thank you. 20th of December, thank you guys for that one. When's my birthday? It's a horrible birthday, bud. My birthday is September the 11th, unfortunately, which is not a great day. Right, more news. Done that one already. My son fell, and it's his birthday. Can you say happy birthday? Absolutely. Happy birthday. Sorry you fell. I mean, never good. When a youngster falls, I hope you're okay. Have you seen, it seems like United are going to be unable to afford to sack Eric Ten Hag at the minute. It's all gone Pete Tong at Old Trafford. Rumours it cost 15 million to fire Ten Hag. And United apparently haven't got 15 million. I mean, the amount of money they waste on transfers, and they can't afford to sack a manager that's just not getting the results. So, Jamal Musiala, let's talk about him for a minute. I want to end this poll on the centre-back. So we asked you guys, who would you want to sign for Liverpool? And with 43% of the vote, Piero Hincapié is the one that you guys would like to bring in. So, Jamal Musiala. Do I think it's likely Liverpool sign Jamal Musiala? No, I don't. But I think it's fair to say that the ship at Bayern Munich is a little bit rocky at the moment. So, there's been some stories to say that Joshua Kimmich is unhappy with what he's seeing at Bayern Munich. His contract ends, I think, 2025, if my memory's right, where he'd be 30 years of age. Jamal Musiala, I mean, there was an open letter penned to him in Germany. I'm not sure if you've seen this. Basically begging him to stay, and that Bayern need him. And I get it, because I'm sure Jamal Musiala and his representatives are looking at the move that Jude Bellingham made, and you know, his profile, how well he's playing, how well it started out from there. And I'm not even going to allow myself to dream about this one, but I guess where I'm going with this is, you know, on top of the fact that they were knocked out of the German Cup by a third-tier team in Saarbrücken, on top of the fact that they're currently, I think, second in the Bundesliga, it's not steady as she goes, and it's very unusual, because we've seen obviously at Ajax now at the minute they're all the way down the bottom of the Eredivisie. So these two institutions of European football don't seemingly have everything together at the minute. There was even talk in that open letter about Jamal Musiala that I'm just trying to think back on it and the details of it, that they no, sorry, I'm going to have to just retract on that part, because I don't know where I was going with it, and I can't remember the point I was trying to make. But yeah, I want your thoughts on Jamal Musiala. Do you think he stays at Bayern, or do you think somebody comes in and makes an offer for him? He's, after Jude Bellingham, probably the most sought after midfielder in Europe of his age. The Face Me Network, the Face Men Network, I think it is, the Face Men Network, so the Facement Network, there you go. Hey Craig, just trying to help support and really appreciate the community here and the work you guys do. The watch alongs feel like you and the chat myself are all hanging out, yelling and cheering at the TV. I couldn't have written that any better myself. Thank you, mate. That's exactly the way I wanted to feel. I wanted to feel like we're all in a virtual room together, reacting, interacting, laughing and taking the piss. So thank you. Yeah, I hope they continue to bring you or anybody a bit of joy. I can only tell you what joy they bring me. So thank you so much for your very generous super chat and for your support of the channel, mate. Kimmich, like Muller, would never leave Munich, said AAA. How long were you a YouTuber for? So I think the channel's going since 2018. Before that, I did a podcast for a couple of years. So yeah, 2018. Wirtz is miles clear of Musiala. So I did see an article. I wasn't going to bring this up because I thought it was far-fetched, but I did see an article today linking Liverpool with a move for Florian Wirtz. Especially, like, let's say, for instance, Xavi Alonso is the successor to Jurgen, and let's say Florian Wirtz stays at Leverkusen for a few more years. You know, you never know. You never know. Even if Xavi Alonso's looking down the line to think, maybe in the future we go there, maybe he gives a little nudge to Florian Wirtz, because I've seen him mentioned as a Mo replacement in more than one place. I just didn't want to bring it up because I didn't know how credible it was. I mean, My mind automatically thinks if you're German and if you're starting to show any signs, Bayern are going to come in and buy you. And that's kind of how they feel like they'll try to do for Florian Wirtz. Musiala has the potential to become one of the club's greatest legends. I hope he stays, said Toes. Footy said I'd go for Andre. I don't want to say Andre's nailed on, but I feel like as close to it being a formality as I can say, I'm pretty confident. Any chance we get a joint watch along with Adam for the United match? No, because he would obviously be doing United content on his own personal channel. So I don't think that will be possible. We are working on doing some. We're just waiting for some equipment to arrive. The last piece of the jigsaw for Adam to really be able to get him to stream to the full extent of his capabilities and the stuff that he has there. So we're just we're just waiting on one or two things. But trust me, we've got lots of plans. Would you put the Portuguese league above the Dutch league? Oh God, yes. Yeah. I think the standard of football in Portugal is higher than in the Netherlands. Billy Hogan is going to the Copa Libertadores. We love that. So interestingly, on the Copa Libertadores, we've got two people to keep an eye on there. You've got Fluminense and Andre Trinidad, and then you've got Boca Juniors and Ezequiel Fernandez. So I'm going to be an eager viewer of that on Saturday myself. John Williams said Musiala will notice Gravenberch's improvement. Yeah, and that was actually, thank you. John, you've reminded me of the other part of that article, that open letter to Jamal Musiala and stuff that I was speaking about. So the article went on to say that heads are kind of falling off of Bayern at the minute. They don't understand how they could basically give Liverpool Ryan Gravenberch and instantly see a different player when he comes to Liverpool. So they're unhappy with how things are at Bayern at the minute. And I don't know if it's just about Tuchel or if it's about the higher ups at Bayern, but it does seem like there is some decision making going on there that Bayern's fans, and Bayern media aren't very happy with. Watch along for the Copa Libertadores? No, because I'll be on a watch along from 5:30 or from 5 o'clock. I'll be doing the is it Newcastle Arsenal on Saturday? I think it's Newcastle Arsenal. I'm doing that from 5 o'clock on top of the league. So after that, I'm going to be on Anfield Agenda and I will be doing a stream, but I'll keep you up to date with what's going on. I'll have the Copa Libertadores on, but it won't be in a watch along. They needed money for Kane, which is fair as well, but even from that perspective, like spending 100 million quid on a 30-year-old, I can understand. So there's some questions being asked there at Bayern. We've been linked with a lot of players recently, and it's not even December yet. Just hope it doesn't end up like the last transfer window. Look, personally, mate, I think there's only one signing coming in January, and that would be Andre Trinidad. I don't expect myself anymore. I'm hoping that it's just because I'm out of the loop and I know nothing about any other potential incomings, but I also don't really see the need for anybody else at this point. Let's all root for Fulham. Arsenal's wheels are coming off. That was not a great result last night at all, was it, for Arsenal? Losing 3-1 in the end. Odegaard with a late consolation. Right, I'm going to ask you this poll really quickly. And I'm going to stay on until 9:45 if that's okay with everybody. So we'll go back over everything we've covered. We'll talk about the few bits I haven't done yet either. Right. This is a bit of a personal, selfish poll, so I'm sorry about this one. I can't even speak. I'm sorry about this one. But I want to ask a simple question. Look, I really want people in the States really answering this one. Should I do a Boston show in March? I have a call at 10 o'clock to go over numbers for a proposed venue that was suggested and was spoken to. So myself and Brian are having a call at 10 o'clock to see if that's a doer or not. Do you think Szoboszlai can win a Ballon d'Or? So, I do think there's almost... I don't say arrogance is the right word. Sometimes I feel like the Premier League gets overlooked on the Ballon d'Or front way too often for my liking. Feels like Ballon d'Ors, a lot of the time, have ended up in La Liga. And look, there has been occasional ones for the Premier League, of course, over the years, but do I think Dominic Szoboszlai could win a Ballon d'Or? I'm unsure because of Hungary. A lot of the time, but not solely, you seemingly have a crossover there. So let's say Messi with the Copa America, Ronaldo with the European Championship, I think the Nations League, if I'm not mistaken, with Portugal, the World Cup with Messi as well, on top of their individual accolades at their clubs. So unsure. Does he have the talent to get to that level? Yes. Will there be an age limit to the show? Oh yeah, no age limit, open to everybody. So one of the good things about the venue we looked at is it's open to all age groups. Anybody 21 and over will get a wristband that they can buy alcohol if they so wish. But it will be open to everybody. Whether you're a kid or whether you're a grown-ass person. Yeah, no, the show will be open to everybody this time. We learned our lesson on the last one. And that was my fault, nobody else's. Do you really think FSG will open his wallet in the winter transfer window knowing how cheap John is? Said Ronald. I mean, I won't lie, Ronald. I was a little bit thrown by the 150 million Caicedo offer that we had at the end of the summer window. That really shocked me, if I'm being quite frank. Because we've not seen John W. Henry and FSG sanction 100 million upwards. We've seen 100 million euro all in potentially for Darwin, and we've seen Virgil 75 and Ali at 70, but 115 million pound for a defensive midfielder. That was a big statement of intent, and I've got to take it at face value that he was willing to pay that money, because if he agreed to the move, Caicedo, I think he's probably a Liverpool player now. So, it will add more frustration in the longer term if Liverpool feel like we're missing out on targets because of money again. So if we heard, let's say, I don't think it'll happen with Andre, but let's say a centre-back. If Liverpool want to bring in somebody and it's 60 million and we're being told 60 million is too much money, then you kind of have questions to answer again, going, well, how is it we had the money for this? So if the money's available, what's the criteria for us spending big money? Also, Calvin Ramsey is finally back training with Preston after 3 months out. So good news for Calvin. Hopefully we get to see him progress there at Preston North End. Do you think any English players come in a Ballon d'Or? Of the current crop? I mean, if by some miracle, let's say, Bayern Munich win the Bundesliga and win a Champions League, and then with the Euros coming up next year, if Kane was to help England win the Euros, I don't think Harry Kane winning a Ballon d'Or is the most ludicrous thing in the world. You know, he'd have to back up his good start in Germany with silverware, and England would have to do well in the Euros, but to be fair, you would expect England to do well in the Euros because they have a good squad. So, yeah, I mean, the younger crop, I don't see Grealish ever get near a Ballon d'Or. Can Saka get to that level, maybe? I guess time will tell there. Bellingham is going to win Ballon d'Ors. So I think Bellingham's probably the safest bet to win a Ballon d'Or. But of the current crop right now, I think it's there for Kane to maybe pinch one if there's an off. Like, you know, because you've got no Messi and Ronaldo now in the Ballon d'Ors after this year. That's the end of their time for Ballon d'Or contenders. Mbappe's having a bit of an up and down weird season because PSG are all over the shop. So Haaland hasn't really lit the world up yet this season. I mean, maybe. I mean, is it too early for Bellingham? Or okay, let me rephrase that. If Bellingham goes on to win La Liga and the Champions League this year with Real Madrid, and then next summer does really well and England progress far in the Euros, I mean, is it too early to talk about Bellingham maybe winning a Ballon d'Or? Thank you for the little vote on the poll there on the Boston venue as well. Appreciate your feedback. I mean, what a rise to glory that would be for Jude Bellingham, you know, to move from Borussia Dortmund. He's already doing, to say he's doing bits at Real Madrid is an understatement. He is lighting the world on fire at Real Madrid. So yeah, I mean, we could see him being the next Ballon d'Or winner, and I don't think that's an outlandish statement. That hurts though. As a Liverpool fan and with how invested I was in Liverpool getting Bellingham, if he goes and wins a Ballon d'Or in his first year at Real Madrid, oh my god. Yeah, that would be tough. Is that Martin Zubamendi? No, it's Robin Lenormand, mate, the centre back on the image. Oh god, that would be. I'd be a bit salty if Bellingham went and won a Ballon d'Or in his first year at Real Madrid. Don't know if you're interested, Craig, but Glory Kickboxing on Saturday too. Definitely worth a watch. I don't really watch kickboxing, to be fair. So probably won't watch, but I appreciate you looking out for me, mate. Thank you. Right, so some other bits of news. Where's this one? I'm going to read something out here from the Echo for you on Andre Trinidad. 1 second. Right, so who's this article from? So there's an opinion piece that says Andre Trinidad would be a perfect fit for Liverpool. British-Brazilian journalist Maurizio Alencar believes the Fluminense player will be a perfect addition to Liverpool. This is what he had to say. Andre plays more as a 6. He's obviously very strong and agile, really good on the ball, plays two-touch football, great first touch. He's always appearing in those pockets of space between the defence and midfield, and the midfield and attack sometimes. He's very versatile. I think he's a cut above the rest of the Fluminense squad, and when I watch Brazilian matches, he's always a standout player, so I'm surprised he's yet to move to Europe. He goes on to say he's very understanding of his position on the pitch. If you look at his numbers, goals, so what? But he's a player that understands the concept of where he needs to be positioned. Yet he also knows how and where his teammates need to be in relation to him so that he can move the ball faster. He can understand that if I go here, and so he has to go there and so on. Brazilian football is very physical, borderline violent. Again, this isn't me saying this. Some of the challenges are borderline MMA. The physicality is taken to the extreme in Brazilian and Argentinian football, so he will be dealt with. He will be able to deal with the physical nature of the Premier League. His height, he's not a tall player, and I know the Premier League midfielders tend to be quite tall from a defensive point of view. Similar small defensive players that have been quite good headers are Javier Mascherano, Lisandro Martinez and N'Golo Kante. Andre does lack that. He likes the ball to his feet and likes to play it on the ground. I think heading can be improved upon, but maybe it's something that evolves. And he finishes off by saying there's a space and time, but he will not have this space and time at Liverpool, both offensively and defensively, with the way Jurgen Klopp likes him to play. Defensively in Brazilian football, you don't have pressing, is it? Pressing, sorry, you don't have pressing. So yeah, bit of a glowing reference there from a journalist, a Brazilian English journalist on Andre Trinidad. Craig, would you take Jamal Musiala at Liverpool if he did want to stay at Bayern Munich? God, yes. I think all of us would. Why is Salah so silent? Haven't seen him interview since links with. If he had, well, he has. I don't know if he's silent. I think Mo's just going about his business. To be fair, I mean, sometimes I think we just look for stuff that mightn't be there. So I don't know if I'm delusional, and a lot of people would say I am, but I feel. I don't know. I just feel like we need to start hearing talk of a potential contract extension soon, because I'd love to wake up Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or whatever, and hear that Liverpool are in negotiations with Mo about a new deal. I guess the longer we don't hear that, maybe the more we have to start preparing ourselves for a summer move. He's no interest in the Prem, he said to himself in an interview recently. Again, I'm just answering questions that are put into the chat, my friend. I'm not here to tell you that Jamal Musiala is coming to Liverpool. I've said it's very unlikely many times. But I also don't really understand why any player wouldn't want to come to the Prem. It's the best league in the world. And I get it. Maybe some people want to be comfortable, stay in Germany, play with Bayern, stay there. That's okay as well. But for me, the best players should be in the Premier League because, in my opinion, it's the best league in the world. Can I speak Irish? Cúpla focal. That's all. And people think that was swearing, right? It was me just saying a few words, because cúpla focal means a few words. Or a couple of words. What about Leon Goretzka? No, thank you. I think that the stage of us looking for Leon Goretzka should be well and truly gone. Harvey Elliott's passed his driving test. Thank you for that, Mark. So there we go. Harvey Elliott's now got his driver's license. Well done, Harvey. Considering we get Andre Trinidad in January, would you swap Alexis for Bellingham? Well, yeah, I would. But, you know, it's the most hypothetical question I'll probably be asked tonight, because it ain't going to happen. And I do love Alexis, but would I swap him for Bellingham? I mean, come on now. Imagine Szoboszlai and Bellingham in the advanced midfield positions. Woo. But I do love Alexis, and I want us to play him in his better position. If Tonali gets left behind by Newcastle during his 8-month ban, would you be taking a punt on him? Fuck no. No way. I'm interested to see what they do. I've a funny feeling we'll see them going for either Ruben Neves on loan from Saudi, or maybe Calvin Phillips on loan from Newcastle, or from Manchester City, because obviously Calvin Phillips will want to play with England in the Euros, so he'll want minutes somewhere. He's not really getting those minutes at City, so I wonder will he be loaned out? Do you think we see a Merseyside derby in the Carabao Cup final? It's possible, because if you look at the draw, right, we've got West Ham, so let's say we get through that. You've also got Chelsea, Newcastle, so that's another good team that's guaranteed to go out there. We have an is it Port Vale Middlesbrough? Is that the other tie? On top of the Fulham one, so Fulham Everton. It's not out of the realms of possibility. Liverpool are favourites with the bookies at 2-1 to win the League Cup, but look, I'm really excited by it. A League Cup number 10 early enough in the season, and it would break that hoodoo of Klopp having one of everything, because it'd be nice to start adding twos of everything. Andre behind Szoboszlai McAllister is perfect, said John Williams. The kid from Sunderland. Are we talking about Joe Bellingham here? Because he's playing at Sunderland, right? Who's your new favourite Liverpool signing? I'm going to stick with Alexis. I know he's not as productive so far as the likes of a Szoboszlai, and I've had a lot of humble pie with Ryan Gravenberch because he's been outstanding. But I don't know, I just really, really, really do. I just like the way Alexis McAllister carries himself. Understated, goes about his work, no drama. And I like to squint sometimes and pretend I'm looking at Messi out there on the pitch because, you know, you can see a resemblance there. So I'm going to go with Alexis, but I've never been happier to be wrong about somebody than I was worried about Ryan Gravenberch. I cannot tell you how happy I am that those fears that I had about maybe him being all hype and no product are very, very wrong. Very quickly it became clear to me as well that I shouldn't have worried because he's settling in really well. His confidence is growing. The dude just glides across the pitch and there's a lot to like about him. And quite frankly, Bayern Munich look very, very foolish because they couldn't get that out of him, and the player's clearly in there. JD, welcome to Anfield Agenda Ultras, my friend. I hope to see you in the Discord group soon. If you're an Anfield Agenda Ultras member, like Luke has also just upgraded their membership to, you guys should see the link in the membership tab of the YouTube channel there to come and join us in the Discord group. Rodrigo or Bowen? So, Rodrigo signed a new contract at Real Madrid. I think 1 billion buyout clause in his new deal, so probably puts to bed the idea of Madrid even entertaining the idea of selling Rodrigo. So I think that's one we can safely put to bed now. Look, I feel like sometimes I'm fighting an uphill battle to convince some people that Jarrod Bowen would be a great fit at Liverpool. I don't for 1 minute think he or anybody else can replicate the numbers of Mohamed Salah, but I think Jarrod Bowen's overlooked by a lot of people for how good a player he actually is. Someone said, you know, you missed the donation. I've done the It's Urban favourite Liverpool signing. I've done John Williams. Andre behind Szoboszlai and Mac is perfect. Did John Williams' other comment. I did the age limit. I don't think I did miss one, mate. You know, and thank you for trying to point it out to me. No issues with that, but I don't think I did. Out of 10, how class is Ryan Gravenberch? I'll give him an 8 now, but he defo has the ability to get to a 9 or a 9.5. Bowen or Sané? Easily Jarrod Bowen. I mean, easily Bowen. Easily. Sané has the injury issues that would worry me. He's very hot and cold in his form. Again, I don't like to say attitude issues because you don't know till a player comes to your club, but to say there's been reports of some attitude issues. Yeah, Bowen all day for me. Sorry about the spelling, said Paul. Paul, mate, you don't need to apologise to me about spelling. My spelling's atrocious, my friend. If it wasn't for autocorrect on the phone, I'd never write anything, mate. You did miss one way back. Right, let me go through because, you know, it's people's hard-earned money and I hate to think of missing one, so let me go through them all. Colin, Rachel, that one. I did the United player one, did Brian's one, did the Hincapie's pace plus aggression equals with Kwanzaa's class. I think I did that one. What's your thoughts on Endo? I did that one. Done the Wednesday comment coming in for you. Support the channel one. Musiala will notice Gravenberch's improvement. I think I've done that one as well. Walter said, do you think Szoboszlai like winning a Ballon d'Or? I've definitely did that. Will there be a age limit? I've done that one. No, mate, I think I have gone through every one of those super chats, in all honesty. I think I've covered them all, so I don't think I have missed one. They're all the ones that came in. Somebody said 10 quid one. I read it out. I'm almost certain I've read it out. The 10 quid one came in, said, what's your thoughts on Endo? And I gave that answer. There was another one, says, what's your thoughts on Liverpool? Ah, there we go. That's the one. My apologies. That's the one. You're all right. You were all absolutely right. Yeah, you're spot on. Well played. Right, so let me just read this through. Says, what's your thoughts on Liverpool being drawn against West Ham? They've already knocked out some top teams of the Carabao Cup. Does this worry you? And look, firstly, let me apologise to John for missing that in the first place, mate. But thank you to you guys for giving me the heads up on it. So, does it worry me? Yeah, it does. I don't think West Ham's going to be an easy game at all. I think we're in for a very difficult evening. I'm excited that we're at home because that should give us a bit of a lift. And dare I say it, it feels like we're destined to win that trophy this year. I don't know if that's me being a bit arrogant about it, but I don't fear anybody left in the competition all that much. If this was in London, I think maybe this game's a 50-50. The fact that it's at Anfield, I think we'll see Jurgen go quite strong for it because I think we'll see David Moyes go quite strong. I think confidence will be high. Yeah, I'm going to say we progress. And then semi-finals a two-legged affair. So no matter what happens now, we'll have one leg at home, one leg away if we get through in the semi-finals. So here's one for you. If Chelsea got through or Newcastle, whoever wins that tie, would you prefer to play Chelsea or Newcastle in the semi-final over two legs or potentially play them in a final over one leg? Me, I'm a bit of a coward. I always go for the two-leg route because it gives you more wiggle room. But I'm interested to see what you guys think. Would you prefer one-legged against Chelsea or Newcastle, or would you prefer a two-legged tie against Chelsea or Newcastle? Everybody's saying Chelsea over two. Wow. Who would you rather have got, Szoboszlai or Bellingham? Bellingham. I mean, I got to be honest about that, mate. I love Dominic Szoboszlai. I never had any doubts when we were signing him that he was going to be great. But, like, Bellingham's amazing. And I wanted Bellingham more than anybody. So Ronald wants Chelsea with one leg in the final. Colin said Chelsea, two legs. We play really good against good teams. Chelsea is always 0-0, but Chelsea said Nene. Two legs said Hayden. Do it as a poll. Yes, let's do it as a poll. We've got a few minutes left, so let's do it as a poll. Now, okay, so winner of Chelsea versus Newcastle. Right. Let me just get this up. Right, there we go. Cool. So, I've simply just asked, winner of Chelsea, Newcastle, would you prefer to have them one leg or two? So, one leg in the final or two legs in the semi-final. The winner, whoever wins that tie. Thank you, Colin. Enjoy the match, mate. I hope you win. And lots of love as always. Only channel I know that runs pointless polls every show to cover up a lack of content. Is it? Well, there's over 1,000 people in here, mate, who are happy to it. And you might say that, but here's what I say back to you. I care what people think. And I interact with my audience. And this is how I do it, by making them involved in the show. So, maybe you're looking at this the wrong way. I would argue that you say a lack of content. Do you want me to just make up news like other people do? Literally just pull it out my arse, lie to people, or interact and get to know people and have fun, which is what we do. And you may have noticed, but we're doing okay, you know. We're growing rather nicely, and more people are coming in and noticing what we do because we give a shit. We interact, we care. I want to get to know people. So, again, I don't know who you are, but the fact that I'm in your head and you feel free to take time out of your day to come in and moan at somebody for asking opinions of people watching his content. Think about that logically. You're slagging me for actually caring about the opinions of people watching. Does that not feel a bit weird? Because to me, that feels like what I should be doing. But anyway, you carry on watching those people that don't give a fuck about your opinion, mate, and watching all of their content. Strange people. Yeah, I get it. You're probably used to this. Tweet. I know, you get it. But I actually give a shit. That's the difference. Yeah, so far 2 legs is winning in the poll, and I'm with you on that one. I'd much prefer it over 2 legs because there's something about a final that always makes me nervous. I want the easiest finals possible because just one red card early or a penalty decision or a final can go tits up very quickly. So if we're playing somebody that I genuinely have some fear for, I'd prefer it over 2 legs. How do I feel about City Liverpool on November 25th? I hate that it's a 12:30 kickoff because it doesn't lean into it being a very enjoyable game. It should have been a 5:30 kickoff, but Manchester Police ruined that for us by basically just saying that they don't want people to have a drink or something. Basically, I think that's the only thing I can think of. They feel it's easier to police a 12:30. But it just stinks to me. From like I understand the police's perspective, don't get me wrong, but as a spectacle, as an event, 5:30 would have been so much better on a Saturday evening. Reese, much love, man. Thank you. I like the inclusivity, said Martin. Love the poll, said TB. And look, that's what it's all about for me. I try to be interactive with you guys because I could come on do a half-hour stream where I fly through the news and end it, but it feels very impersonal. So yeah, I probably drag the streams out maybe 20-25 minutes longer than they should be, but it's because not only do I think it's the right thing for me to do, I enjoy it. I enjoy chatting with people. We've not been on TV much this season. I haven't paid much. Do you know what, Matty, mate? I haven't paid much attention to that, bud. I guess when you're in the Europa League and you're playing Thursdays, your Saturday fixtures then push to Sunday 2:00, and yeah, a lot of them haven't been on TV. But we're on Sky on Sunday at 4:30 for the game against Luton. The League Cup quarter-final, as was pointed out earlier on, that one's going to be on Sky as well. City game, that will be on Sky, if I'm not mistaken, at 12:30. So there are some games we're getting. Craig, we love you. Thank you, Leharis. Look, I understand that these little idiots that come in aren't the majority, but I just want to point out to them why their perception is flawed. I have a big decision for you to make. Well, you're going to have to ask the fucking question, mate, rather than keep posting. I have a question. Post the question, dude. If people are willing to watch, listen and interact, that's all that matters. I think so, Stevie. Yeah, look, there's a reason why I do an 8-minute video as well. Because if people don't have time or want for long form content, everything I speak about, I do an 8-minute shortened video of that people can watch really quickly themselves. 5:45 next Thursday. Hate the early kickoff on a Thursday. Yeah, if I'm right, Julian, I think all of our away games in the Europa League group stage are the early kickoff. All of our home games are the 8 p.m. kickoff. Who's your favourite player at the minute? Alisson. Just, he's so consistent. I can't. Alisson, Salah, but I can't. And look, Darwin, because I love how, like, that goal Darwin scored last night, it had everything about Darwin in it in one goal. It had the little bit of miscontrol that forced him wide initially, which got a bit of a reaction from the Bournemouth fans. They were taunting him a little bit. Then it had the cutting inside and unleashing a strike and shut them all up, but it was also a wonderful goal. It was like the whole of Darwin encapsulated in one little 10-second cameo. So I can't speak enough about how much I love Darwin. Haaland who? Exactly. Haaland who? Has your thoughts on Curtis changed since he's been on fire in the last 6 months? In what sense? What do you mean by have my thoughts changed, Alan? Do I still think he's useless? No. I've backtracked massively on that, mate, because I don't have agendas against people. I give my honest opinions, and I thought for the longest time there that Curtis Jones just was not progressing. But this could be a coincidence, but I felt like that time he pointed out about his injury and how he might have to have little breaks. I feel like since he's got that off his chest, he's flourished massively and deserves to be in the squad, deserves to be pushing for a starting place. And so if you mean if my opinion changed on that, then yes, very much so. He's living up to all the potential he had. We need better than Kelleher. Do we? I would disagree. As a number 2, I think Caoimhín Kelleher is as good, if not better than a lot of other teams' number 2s. So, and look, I'm open that I'm biased because he's Irish. Craig, love your content. Keep keeping it real. Thank you, Ed, father of 2 men, David. Appreciate you, buddy. Thank you so much. Right, look, my friends, I'm going to call that a night because, as I mentioned, I've got to jump on this call with Brian about that possible show in Boston. So we'll just finish up with the result of the poll. What do you want for the winner, Chelsea-Newcastle? Do you want it over 1 leg or 2? 54% of you guys said you would like it as a 2-legged semi-final. And Pranav, before we finish up, said, would you start Jones or Gravenberch against Luton? Gravenberch. I think Gravenberch. McAllister, Gravenberch, Szoboszlai would be my 3 against Luton. Whether Jurgen feels it being away at Kenilworth Road in more of a kind of English type game, maybe he feels that could be suited to Curtis on the left, and again, I'd understand that as well. So look, I'll see you guys tomorrow, 8:30, same time, same place, and again, appreciate your support for everyone that was in tonight, everyone that became members, everyone that gifted memberships. Yeah, much love as always. You guys are awesome, and we will see you tomorrow. So do check out the video. Also, on top of the league, Adam put up a video on there as well, recapping the Carabao Cup situation. So please do check that one out. So yeah, have yourselves a wonderful Thursday night, and I will catch you tomorrow. Much love. Bye bye.